Alright, hey guys! It is TsubakiSwagg and I'm coming to you with my review of Nanatsu no Taizai, episode 15, The Unholy Night. In this episode, it explains so freaking much. Like, I've heard that they skipped a lot of stuff because we weren't supposed to find out about a lot of stuff until later on, but I also think it's because there's already only 24 episodes and we're already on episode 15 as to why they're speeding things along a little bit. But this episode was awesome and it made me kind of sad, like, when you think about it, but I'll get to that later. So in this episode, we of course see the fight that's about to ensue between Gauther and the Sins against the, I cannot remember what their name are, but the assassins sent by Helbram. So Gauther, little Gauther, he is trying to save the big creature that's inside of his armor. And they're pretty much just like, I'm just after its head, so if you can just give me its head, then that's great. So Gauther cuts its head off and gives him like the head of the armor. So they're just like, oh, okay. And then they go about their business. And we find out that the head actually has absolutely nothing to do with the monster itself. So we see like how Gauther met the monster, and we see like Gauther was walking through the forest, and this big creature was attacking a bear, and he pretty much put it inside of his armor because his armor was made to contain unruly magic. So it was containing it. And he was like, it pretty much became his companion. He was just going to give him his armor and then leave. But he gave him his armor, and they like became companions. They started like walking together, and he would read to it, and it was awesome. So after all that, we find out that the monster was actually a holy knight that was turned, or tried to be turned, was used as an experiment to be turned into a demon. And of course, it was by Hendrickson. Hendrickson is a fucking asshole. I hate him. Like, I literally hate him. And Hendrickson was trying to turn him into a demon, and it turns out that it's Eula's and Zeal's dad. I was like, what? Wait a minute. What? Wait a minute. I wasn't ready. What you probably didn't even do? I wasn't ready. Oh my god. So it was actually Eula and Zeal's dad, and Eula was like, they had been waiting for their dad to come back, and it turns out that the main person that she is under is the reason why her dad didn't come back. She probably doesn't know this, which really sucks. So before that even happened, we see they're trying to fight it because it breaks out of the armor, so it can't be contained anymore. And of course Gauther, he's not doing anything to help. He's really just pretty much like sitting back and watching. And we see like he shoots off an arrow, which Gauther's fucking skill is freaking awesome. He can literally like make it materialize from his hand. He has a bow that comes out of his hand, which I thought was freaking dope. And Bon and Meliodas, of course, they're going at it because Meliodas doesn't want to kill him because he found out that the Knight is still he's still kind of alive. He still has consciousness. He was talking. He was like, no, please don't. And Meliodas was trying to stop, but Bond took his heart out, and the thing still was going. So he's like, it pretty much became a demon. And he's like, how does a holy knight become a demon? So they start fighting it, and Meliodas was like, no, don't fight it. But Meliodas almost got killed, and he got Bond killed, and it shot acid at King. So Meliodas was still trying not to fight it, and Bond was like, you need to get a grip. This thing is going to kill you and your comrades if you don't take it out first. So Meliodas was still thinking about that, and Bond was trying to fight it. And we also see like while all this is happening, Kane comes to the bar, and he sees Elizabeth, and he thought that she was Liz, which turns out was the woman that Meliodas was so close to. And her name was Elizabeth as well, but everybody called her Liz. Which, it kind of sucks because that might be, I feel like that is the main reason why he was helping Elizabeth, because she reminds him so much of Liz. Which is really sad. That hurts my heart a little bit because I feel like Elizabeth actually does have feelings for Meliodas. But the main reason why he picked her up was because she reminds him of Liz. So Elizabeth really doesn't. I honestly feel like Elizabeth really doesn't care about that. She's still going to stay by his side. So Kane gives her the sword that Liz tried to give Meliodas, but he wouldn't take it, and she went running for him. And we see like little flashbacks of him like saving Liz because she was from an enemy territory, and then her becoming a knight and being awesome. So Elizabeth brings Meliodas the sword, and Meliodas takes out the demon without any problems, because Kane said that the reason why Meliodas doesn't actually wield a real sword is because he doesn't want to kill anybody, because he's too strong to actually hold a sword, because he would take out, like, he'd probably blow up the earth if he had a real sword. So that's the reason why Meliodas doesn't have a sword. And he actually took the sword, like I said, he took the sword that Elizabeth brought him that was originally Liz tried to give to him, and he wouldn't take it. And he took out the demon, but the demon, like the Holy Knight, was still a little alive. And we see Gowther, he tries to talk to him, and he pretty much the knight tells Gowther, thank you. He was like, thank you, friend. And he was like, we're friends, how are we friends? And then he keeps trying to talk to him, but at that point he was already dead. And Gowther was like, am I supposed to, do people normally cry at times like this? Blah, blah, blah. This episode was awesome. Oh my god, I really was not prepared. I wasn't prepared for him to be Gyula's father. But before they even showed her face, I knew it was Gyula, which kind of threw me off a little bit. So, I mean, that's neither here nor there. This episode was awesome. Oh my god, I really was not prepared. Was not prepared in the slightest for the epicness that was this episode. But yeah. So, as always, this episode, this made me so sad. I'm so looking forward to seeing how things turn out, though. But as always, please remember to comment, thumbs up, and subscribe. It helps me out a whole lot. And I would also love to hear how you guys felt about this episode. How do you feel about the way things turned out? Because I know that finding out about Liz and everything wasn't supposed to be until way later, and they already mentioned it. But I want to hear how you guys feel about this episode and how you feel about the way things turned out. But as always, please remember to comment, thumbs up, and subscribe. It helps me out a whole lot. And this is TsubakiSwagg saying adios.